Miles away.
Oh, he sees us.
They see us?
Died him.
Oh,
Oh my
with no armor?
days.
Oh!
Hello everyone,
Oh.
and welcome back to the channel for another Call of Duty Warzone loadout video. Here we're going to look at some of the strategical pros and cons regarding the best loadouts for Warzone. We will not only be going through the best attachment setups, but breaking down what the pros and cons are for each situation. Keep in mind that with every loadout there are no definitive best class setups, as it boils down to personal preference and how you like to approach the Warzone. With the variety of methods that you can use to get that victory, it is ultimately up to you and what you want to accomplish. So, I shall be sharing what has worked for me in the hope that I can help you find your best new loadout and send you on your way back on that helicopter with yet another victory. I shall include timestamps down below in the video's description in case you would simply like to jump ahead and find exactly what you need. If you do enjoy this type of video and find them helpful in any way, I would appreciate it if you could drop me a like. With that out of the way, let's jump into the stats for today's video. So, let's start with the very basics, and that is the M4's base damage and time to kill. The M4 starts out with a base damage of 28 hit points, although for today's loadout setup we are using the SOCOM magazines. This adds an extra 20 hit points, giving us a total of 48, and has a headshot bonus of 72 hit points. This makes the M4 an extremely hard hitting assault rifle at both mid to long range, making it an extremely powerful loadout within Call of Duty Warzone. This extra damage gives this blueprint a time to kill of just 200 milliseconds, with an enemy player on just 100 HP, and a time to kill of 500 milliseconds when fully armoured. This is insane. I honestly did not see this remaining this way for much longer. However, there are some downsides to this, which we will get into in a second. As for the damage per second, this M4 blueprint comes in around 528 hit points, making this the hardest hitting assault rifle build within the AR tree. As for the aimed out sight speed, this comes in around 200 milliseconds, which you can adjust with various attachments, but I would not recommend that, as this thing does like to fight with you for control. Speaking of control, this blueprint does have a vicious recoil pattern, as it likes to bounce around. In saying that, when we test this blueprint in Speedball, we can see that it has a little to no deviation, where it likes to jump up and to the right. As always, this can simply be countered by controlling your recoil by countering this pattern with your mouse or sticks. With that said, it isn't too hard of a weapon to use, as I would normally fire in either burst or single shot. Rarely would I full auto unless I really have to, as this is built for more longer ranges. The recoil deviation will increase naturally as the range increases, so bear that in mind. To counter that, you can simply use another weapon of your choice as a secondary. We can also discuss this in our loadout build. The M4, like most, can be built for a variety of situations. The current meta is to use the 60 round magazine with similar attachments with iron sights. For me, this simply doesn't play to my playstyle, as I like to engage at range and anchor while my teammates flank into better positions. So for today's loadout, we're using the monolithic suppressor for our muzzle, giving us a 7% range buff, the M16 Grenadier for the stock, giving us even more damage, extra control and bullet velocity. I have a canted optic, as I like to have the red dot for messy situations, a Ranger foregrip as my underbarrel, and most importantly, the 10 round SOCOM magazine attachment. As I have mentioned before, I am carrying the R9 shotgun for any close quarter gunfights, and I'm simply using the Bloodhound blueprint. For my perks, I am using EOD, Overkill and Amped for quick revive times, C4 for my lethal, and a heartbeat sensor for my tactical. So this M4 blueprint is not a loadout I would go running into downtown with, or even any urban areas for that matter. I would suggest playing in more open areas such as the military base, or even the dam. You will need to give this blueprint room to breathe, as you can deal out high damage while still remaining at an awkward distance for your opponent, which is what you want. You want to try and maximise your potential at winning those gunfights as best as possible. And if you bear in mind that the current meta is the Groy with iron sights, you shouldn't have that much of a hard time with this blueprint. Like the file in our previous video, it can be a little awkward the closer your opponent becomes, which is why I suggest using Overkill or even simply using a strong close quartered secondary as a precaution. There are a variety of blueprints that you could try. So for example, in today's video, Andrew is using the sniper scope alongside a bipod to increase his range even further. Although in saying that, he had mentioned that you're better off simply having a sniper rifle and then using the M4 as a secondary. That really boils down to you and what you want to achieve within Warzone. So, to wrap up today's video, we have learned that this M4 blueprint comes with a variety of pros and cons. First up, it's clear that the M4 build has the highest damage output of all AR assault rifles. Its range and bullet velocity are amazing, making it an excellent anchoring loadout. It's extremely adaptable as you can switch from all the way from short to long range without many penalties. As for its cons, the most obvious point to make is that this loadout build only has 10 rounds, so make them count. The recoil can be a bit awkward first, but it's easily manageable. And because of these factors mentioned above, I would give this overall blueprint a rating out of 10, a solid 8. As always, there are a variety of ways you can modify this, and I can show you Andrew's sniper hybrid in a second. Everything is somewhat similar except for the optic, as we have a sniper scope, and for the underbarrel we are using a bipod. Well, that is going to do it for today's episode of Pros and Cons. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to drop a like, a dislike if you didn't, and if you're new around here, consider subscribing to the channel. I would now like to leave you some gameplay. Thank you so much for watching. Enjoy.
Yeah, you got him. Oh, is that the fastest?
No, I'm underneath.
Oh no. You got him?
Yeah, there's another one up there. Got him. Armor if you can.
They might be.
Yeah.
Everybody. Yep, 2 singles.
Bound to be inside there.
Someone's coughing. Somebody's in the store.
Yeah,
might-
one then.
Oh, this MP5 is disgusting.
Yeah, up top. Got him.
Oh, boys. Teesh.
These M4s. No, like, this should not be a thing. And then you're comboing with an MP5, that is disgusting.
Those close-up encounters are like, well, not even, like medium range. MP5 destroys.
And then you've got that M4 to long range.
Yeah, for the anything else, like, and you can use it close up if you need to.